Hey folks, welcome to Market Technical Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com for December 6th, 2007. Well, today is Thursday, and this is the first time I'm actually shooting a video, or at least one of the first times I'm shooting the video while the market is still just about to close here. We have about 7 minutes left in the market, and I'm going to show you some real action here as we go over the odds and ends today. Overall, phenomenal day, and can't say enough. Just a constant move upwards. Decent volume, a little on the light side, to be honest. We've done about 1.6 million contracts. Better volume in the late afternoon here, and this is the market still trading, the ES futures still trading, and I'm going to show you the daily here to go over some odds and ends. Now let's get right into it here, guys, and just a side note about this. The video for tomorrow will come out on Sunday. I got to go away for business tomorrow, and I will put the video out over the weekend and post it by Sunday evening to go over the market for Monday. So watch for it coming out that evening. All right, one more time here. We see the market on a tremendous rally here. We got the NASDAQ trading up 42 points or 41 points right now, and the market continues just to squeeze higher. And this basically started yesterday with a phenomenal move up. And you saw a 1-2 pullback here on the ES chart, which is a great indicator for a move up, especially when you have the 20 moving average right below. Whenever you have a bounce over the moving average, it usually retraces to the moving average, and that's when you get the blast-off effect. Now, I do want to say right here that we should all be aware that the market could be in a position here to actually pull back maybe just a little bit. I'm not talking about a drastic move back. As you know from my previous videos, I'm not talking about a drastic move back whatsoever because we have the Fed next Tuesday, and there's a lot of stuff coming up. We do have a jobs number tomorrow that's going to be very key. It's really the last major report coming out prior to the Fed making their decision next Tuesday. So we should be aware of that, and we should understand that could be an issue, and that could play into the hands here in the market. So keep a watch on that, and also look into where this market is headed, which is right now the ES futures are hitting their 50 moving average. Now, in my opinion, personally, the first hit of the 50, you always get a pullback, all right? You always get a pullback off that 50, so we should watch for that. In addition, we could also see a possible move higher, but again, I really feel with the Fed coming out, the market's not going to go too much higher here. We've had a tremendous rally leading into the Fed. Even financials are on the upside. Goldman Sachs up 450 right now. But overall, you gotta assume here with the 50 moving average that this is going to be some resistance. Now let's look at the intraday chart here. All right. Early in the day, we traded slightly down here, right into the 200 moving average. And then what did we do? We just rallied. And once we really established ourselves on this ES chart above the 50 moving average, it was off to the races. And look at this channel it's pretty much been in. We had one dip outside of that channel just to test the moving average, to test the 20 moving average, which again, as you guys know following these videos, you always have to test a 20 moving average every so often. There's no given to say how long it should be or how short before you test it, but it's just an inevitable. At some point, the market or the stock will come back to test that moving average. So keep that in mind. All right, folks. In addition, here what we're going to look at on the NASDAQ now is the NASDAQ is up 41 points trading here. The ES futures up 23 on 1.56 million contracts. We see the same type of movement. This is almost identical to yesterday in the fact that it was just a constant move up for the most part. You had a little dip here in the NASDAQ one more time to touch that 20. It's like going back home. You always got to go back home at some point just to feel it out before you're ready to go back on a journey again. And that's what the market did here. Now notice here the stochastics are getting a little toppy. They've been toppy, but then they pulled back right there and then moved back higher here. So we are possibly seeing a near-term top. I don't know how much higher this market will go before the end of the day. Okay? So we will continue to watch that and see where the market heads. But I am liking this market overall. Overall, a great move up the last 2 days, and we continue to see some positive movement in the market. Let's go over a couple of key stocks here. Google. What's Google doing today? Google up $16, almost $17 here, still trading. On the daily, you have a powerful move up here. Ever since those lows back off this 50 moving average, and I keep showing these moving averages because it's so key to understand how intricate they are, what a role they play in this market. Okay? In addition, we should also keep in mind that Google, at some point here, the stochastics are getting a little high, so it's not a point where you're going long here, or at least I wouldn't be. And I always speak from my perspective because I'm just telling you guys what I think, and that's just my personal opinion and should not be taken as financial advice in any way, shape, or form. So keep that in mind, folks. And at some point, we could be in play for a double top on Google as well. I mean, if we get a rally on the Fed next Tuesday, you could be talking about Google upwards of the double top, and then we have to talk about new areas to watch. Okay, folks? And that'll be the new thing to keep in mind. So that's what we're going to watch for now, folks. And Baidu was actually down today. Although it was down more, it's still down $1.20. And we have seen a major rally in Baidu, though, and that's important. But Baidu had a major run as well off this 50 moving average all the way up, though it was topping. And those of you guys that watched the video yesterday, you know we touched on some major Chinese stocks that were running. So Baidu topping out here could indicate, and this is just a possibility, but it could indicate that the Chinese stocks have peaked or nearing peak. Usually Baidu's the leader. And back here, when Baidu started to run, those Chinese stocks we talked about like CHNR, CBAK, CPSL were still in a downtrend. They were still going like that. But really, once it got up here, that's when they triggered and started to move higher. So use Baidu as a leading indicator for the Chinese sector, I believe, for the Chinese stocks. All right, let's look at Apple. Apple up $4 here, and Apple is getting near this double top range again. So we also have to talk about a double top on Apple coming into play here, folks. And whether or not it'll break out to the upside, we'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. Okay. Let's also look at Research in Motion. Research in Motion was below 100 for the second time in a while here. You had a move below 100 here, and now a move below 100 here, but so far it has not closed below 100. And I talk about this being a major indicator because I feel it's very important. Research in Motion, a close below 100 would be significant in the ways of the market, meaning that I believe that it's significant that it stays above 100, and we are seeing that happening here. We are seeing that it is staying above 100. So keep that in mind, folks, and continue to watch this market very closely. All right, folks, the market has just closed here, and just getting a final quote on the market here. We are looking at the NASDAQ being up 42.5 points. The ES futures still trade, obviously, till 4:15, and they are staying up here right underneath that, or right at that 50 moving average, trading up 22 points. This is going back to the charts we just looked at. So you see a little pullback off that top. You had a little topping candle right here, little pullback. But when it's all said and done, folks, everything in this market is going to totally depend on where the Fed goes. Okay, everyone's waiting on the Fed. Everyone's looking towards the Fed. The jobs number yesterday was bullish. We'll see if that is confirmed by tomorrow's jobs number when it's released. Should that come in a lot weaker, then maybe the market pulls back a little, but I just don't see a major pullback in the market till after the Fed, or a major run-up from here. We've had two phenomenal days, and I was calling for that last week for one more bounce higher. We've gotten that now, and I happen to believe that Friday and Monday and Tuesday till the Fed, meaning that once the Fed comes out, obviously the market's going to move off that, but till the Fed, you're going to have some little kind of pause, maybe up, maybe slightly down, unless the jobs number is bad, in which case maybe we give back 20 points on the NASDAQ or so, maybe 30. But overall, compared to what we've made on the last 2 days in this market, it's just been tremendous. Anyways, folks, one thing I want to point out, UTSI, I know everyone in the chat room will be wondering since I had to leave the chat room a couple minutes early today, but this did break up, did close at 299. That's very bullish. I happen to believe that it looks like it closed right above that moving average on the daily, and it could be in play for a move higher here. All right, folks, that was 297.50 was a 20 moving average on the daily, and you got to watch it. If it can confirm this move up on Friday, tomorrow, you should have a very, very nice move. So watch that UTSI, folks, on Friday and on Monday, but it definitely has a possibility, and I'm not going to go out on a limb here and say, but UTSI as being in a Chinese sector and the Chinese stocks being so hot, I love the bottom it's made here. If it is able to confirm tomorrow, you could have a possible move all the way up to this point here, 349, almost 350, which is the 50 moving average. All right, again, never take these videos as financial advice. Always consult your financial professional before making any financial decisions. These are just for entertainment purposes and should be taken just as that. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening and a great day tomorrow. The video will be posted on Sunday, as I said. Watch this market. Powerful move today, powerful move yesterday. Watch for a pause in this market going into the Fed now, and we'll wait to see what that jobs number is tomorrow. And on Tuesday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have the Fed out with their rate decision. Take care.